The House of Kuru, Part 2, Chapter 8. A Tale of Woe. Bhima's return back to the palace, breaking the iron gates with the second rapping of the door, did not make Suryodhana happy in the least. Bhima was given strict instructions to not rouse any suspicions about Suryodhana and to be cordial with him in all matters by Yudhishthira. Though he tried, he could not muster the will perfectly. Every so often he would grab a bunch of Dhritarashtra's children and hold them under the water until they nearly fainted, or he would chase them up a tree and shake the tree till they all fell. All this only infuriated Suryodhana further. After a long period of training, Guru Drona was convinced he had imparted all his knowledge to the children of the Kuru house. He instructed this to Bhishma, Vidura, and Dhritarashtra, who beamed with joy. Now convinced that the kingdom of Hastinapura has over 100 able-bodied soldiers to protect its realms, on top of the invincible Bhishma himself, who was one of the 4 Maharathas in the land of Bharata. Bhishma and Dhritarashtra and all the children of the house of Kuru approached the weapons master, each carrying some artifact of value. Some of them held kine, while others had golden coins or rare and exotic jewelry to pay for tuition to the master of weapons for his tutelage. Upon arrival, the weapons master held a somber look on his face. His wife Kripi and son also held the same look on theirs. Lord of weapons, mighty slayer of foes, invincible Brahmanas, please give us the opportunity to pay our respects to your knowledge. Please help us to pay for our children's education, said Bhishma, majestically holding an expensive diamond necklace on one hand and a large expensive scimitar on the other. Presumably the necklace was for the wife of the Guru and the scimitar for his son. Dhritarashtra, sporting a face full of smiles and agreement, was holding on to a deed of land etched with the emperor's seal. Guru Drona shook his head and raised his palm. Please don't. I have no desire for this, he said, when a shocked and shaken Bhishma responded. But you must. This will taint the house. The nobility of our house is at stake. Please, Brahmana, do us an honor and accept this, insisted Bhishma, when Guru Drona continued to shake his head and said, Dear Maharati, what I want is something far more valuable. No ordinary man can give it to me, said the weapons master. Demand it. I will ensure it is accomplished, commanded Dhritarashtra. Bhishma, all the children, now men, all nodded their heads eagerly. The weapons master sighed deeply and a small speckle of teardrop fluttered from his dark left cheek. A stunned silence filled the house of the weapons master. No one ever thought Guru Drona was capable of emotion, let alone shedding a tear. Bring me Kripa, the teacher of ethics and statesmanship, instructed Guru Drona. And if anyone thought it was an awkward request, no one dared to question it. One of the children ran quickly to the palace and Guru Kripa hastily arrived. Now listen to what I want, children of the Kuru house, said Guru Drona. What I desire, what I want, is for you to wage war on the land of Panchala, defeat the emperor of Panchala in single combat, humiliate him, drag him to me bound and gagged, but he must be alive, very much alive. If you accomplish this, then consider your tuition paid, said the weapons master. Suryodhana's jaw dropped. Bhishma's eyebrow furrowed deeply. Dhritarashtra looked confused. Consider it done, but I beg to know why. You are a member of the priestly class. Why such rage? Asked Bhishma. Hear my tale of woe, guardian of Hastinapura, and tell me if what I seek is unjust, said the master of weapons. A long time ago, I too was like you, a trainer in the ways of the bow, not the weapons master you see before you. I learned under the great teacher Agnivesha, said the weapons master. Agnivesha taught me the legendary Agni Astra, and he was an adept of the Astra, capable of both releasing it and recalling it. As you know, recalling an Astra after it has been sent is almost impossible and requires exceptional talent and an intimate understanding of the mantra which invokes it. One must chant the mantra backwards in a specific combination to recall the Astra, a feat only a few can do. But my guru Agnivesha was adept at recalling and launching celestial weapons like the all-consuming fire known as the Agnyastra, said the weapons master, to nods of agreement from all the students and Bhishma. Though my teacher was exceptionally talented with the bow and the Agnyastra, he was immensely strict and austere with his students. Unlike me, benevolence was not his strong stature, said the Guru Drona, to which almost every student showed a remarkable amount of surprise. I learnt the art of warfare, weapons and astras on how to release and recall them under his guidance, continued the Guru. One day, while learning, an astute, a handsome young adolescent, no older than 12 or 13, joined our ashram. His father, a king called Prishata, had doted upon him and begged my preceptor to make him invincible on the battlefield. Though Agnivesha made no promises, he accepted the lad nevertheless, said Guru Drona. Soon the lad and I became very good friends. Though he was younger to me by age, we became inseparable. He would sometimes struggle with the training and I would help him and not let my preceptor get angry with him. And soon fate dictated that we become blood brothers, a process where we cemented our friendship by slitting a small cut on each of our right palms and shaking each other's palms. And the lad grew into a fine young man, and so did I, said the weapons master. One fine day, I met Kripi, the sister of your teacher Kripa, serving her brother in the performance of a fire sacrifice that I was invited to. And as soon as I laid eyes on her, I fell in love, and she too did the same. I, desirous of children, asked her hand in marriage to Kripa, who, knowing me to be a Brahmana, a member of the priestly caste, ever observant of celibacy, virtue, and possessed of knowledge of the holy Veda, Kripa happily agreed to betroth his sister to me, said Guru Drona to the muted silence of everyone. The day of our marriage was the happiest one I had in a long time. We all went to my own preceptor and Guru Agnivesha, who wedded us in accordance to the scriptures. There, the lad who was my best friend was present, but holding a look of misery with a frown and a downcast face. Naturally, I was curious, and so I approached him and asked him what the matter was, said the Guru Drona. To which he replied, I am so upset because I do not have a wedding gift for you. I am of royal blood, but I have nothing worthy to give you, and this is the reason I am so upset, said the lad, and I consoled him by telling him that his friendship means the world to me, and that alone is the best possible wedding gift he can give me. And for some reason he became even more emotional. He got up and said, I am the scion of the Panchala Empire. I, Drupada, scion of the Panchala Empire, hereby vow to give half my kingdom as a wedding gift to my blood brother here in the presence of everyone. And Kripa, your teacher of statesmanship, was there at the time, said Guru Drona, and Guru Kripa nodded in agreement. Yes, he did say this, attested Guru Kripa. A few years passed, and I finished all my education and built a small thatched hut and started to make a living with my wife Kripi. And soon a beautiful baby boy was born to us, continued Guru Drona. Unfortunately, the happy times eventually came to an end. A terrible famine hit the land I lived in, and everyone became riddled with poverty. I, too, started to suffer the horrors of poverty. I could not provide even the basic necessities for my baby boy and wife. The wise say there is no greater tragedy than poverty, and alas, students, I tell you now, poverty is the worst misery a married man can experience. I used to pat my baby boy to sleep on an empty stomach, and that pain was worse than the pain of my own starvation, said Guru Drona as the students became emotional and began sympathizing with the strict teacher who made them carry rocks on their backs and forced them to climb hills with ladles of water. Poverty is undeniably cruel. Ensure that all the members of my kingdom have no fear of hunger or thirst, commanded King Janamejaya, as the chief minister nodded in agreement. Go on, dear preceptor, he said, and Vaishampayana continued.